Hello, fine people. Looks like you guys are all ready to kung fu fight. I don't know why I had to say, karate fight. I don't know. Just a bunch of shit. Anyways, I'm Brandon. This is the Bloody Screen Podcast. Bloody Screen reviews of Ultra Street Fighter 4. Yes. Yes, indeed. This game is Street Fighter 4 with new characters. About as much as I can tell you with this one. This is the third expansion, I want to say, to Street Fighter 4. But to my knowledge, I'm not 100% on this. I don't think if you just own Street Fighter 4 that you could just get all these characters that are involved. Not 100%. But this is kind of like one of the, how Street Fighter does back when you had Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2, I forget the other ones, but they made like 4 of them. And then they did the same thing with 3, and now they're doing the same thing with 4, where they had Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4, where they added a couple new characters. And now they have Ultra Street Fighter 4 with over 43 characters. 43. It's pretty damn good. That's a huge roster. And for someone who, let me just put it this way, a Street Fighter 4 came around 2009, 2008, 9, in that area. So, let me just say this right now. If you're new to Street Fighter 4, this game takes nothing. Doesn't take that into effect. It just says, fuck you, newbie. And I mean that in all seriousness. With Ultra Street Fighter 4, I started playing the arcade, which is just your typical game arcade. You pick a character, you maybe get some of their backstory or whatever, which is what they give you. And then you fight till you get to the main boss that everyone has to fight, blah, 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 blah. That's kind of the only mode that you have for single player for the most part. Just kind of like like any fighting game arcade. Trying to get through all 40 characters, never gonna happen for me. But trying to find a character to get good with is also very hard. When you have this many, you're just sitting there thinking I don't know who to pick. I knew Ryu. I knew Ryu's, moves and such, and I knew, Ken, of course, and E Honda. There are some of them I knew how to fight as, just from my experience back in Street Fighter 2. But this one, Jesus, man, there's so many. And every character I try to, I played at least 35 characters out of the 40. And it's so hard to, when you pick a new character, it's just a learning curve like a motherfucker. I had this game on easy and I was still losing. I put it down to super easy and I was still getting my ass kicked. This game is fucking hard, dude. This is just fucking hard. Ugh. Nothing's more stressful. And if you want to add more stress to that, play it online. I fought against one of the new characters online, where he played as Hugo, one of the new ones who was from, you may remember him from Street Fighter Cross Tekken, I think he was in. He's just a big, goofy guy. And he whipped my ass. All he did was grab. I was being Ryu, and I'm sitting there Hadouken, and I'm trying to punch him. I'm doing minimal fucking damage to him. And he's just grabbing me. He's just grabbing me and doing maximum damage. My health, bloop, 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 I was dead. And then the couple other matches I played, I might as well have been wearing a skirt with feathers in my hair going, la 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 la, I hope no one hits me. It was just pathetic in every aspect of the word. Oh, God. And so let me name off the new characters. New characters, they are Decapre, which from what I see is, what the hell's her name? I'm looking for her name now. I forget her name. It's the bitch with the beret. I forget her name. Basically, from what it looks like to me, they turn her into an evil cyborg or some shit. They got some stupid frickin' openings to this. Elena, which, you don't remember her. Hugo, the big goofy motherfucker, who, just, give him big baby Ruth or something, he'll be fine, And you got Poison, who, had that whole transvestite controversy back when she was introduced. I want to say in Final Fight. And then Relento S. Shinoga, who is, he's another guy. I want to say he's from Final Fight or another fighting game, but he's the guy with the staff. Basically, most of them, for when it seems like non-Street Fighter characters to begin with. from other video games, just in this because they already had them made because they were put them in like Street Fighter Cross Tekken or whatever. So they're just like, fuck it, we'll throw them in this one. Yeah, and I want to say this game has a story, but it does this horrible thing where you start out the game and like you pick a character, you pick Ryu, and then they do this like, you know, like an anime cutscene in the beginning trying to explain why his character's doing this. I mean, apparently them just being in a fighting competition isn't good enough anymore. They have to always fight the evil corporation or some Just have it be a fighting competition. How hard is that? Just, you know, fight competition. But instead they show this, and they're boring and stupid, and I don't like anime, so this kind of just got on my skin immediately. So I skipped it every time. Anytime I picked a new character, just skip-a-roo. But the cool thing was, the thing I did want to see was when they would do, like, you'd get so far, before you fight the evil Seth, which I don't know what the hell that dude is, you'd find, your rival, which, for the most part, is cool, because you fight your rival. Like, this was in Street Fighter 4, and they have a little dialogue back and forth, and it's really awesome. You just have fun doing it. And you see the bantering. I wish they had more characters that would banter back and forth. My biggest problem with it, you think with over 43 characters, it seemed like at least 10 or 15 of them were all, the rival was Chun-Li. Which is just fucking lame. I don't want to fight Chun-Li all the time. I don't want everyone to, apparently everyone has a grudge against Chun-Li, and how she's not dead by now amazes me. Yeah, so that was my biggest problem, was our rival was it was always Chun-Li. Nothing against Chun-Li, she could have one rival. But there were some people I was just like, you don't get a rival of your own now, do you? And the weird thing was, they all had different rivals. So say you're fighting as Ryu. Your rival would be different than, say, if you're as Sagat. Like, which you think, from my understanding of the old school, like, Street Fighter, storyline, back when it was them fighting the competition, Sagat was always like, he lost. He won. He was the champion of Street Fighter. Then Ryu came in the first one, beat his ass. Then they became rivals in the 2, and then, yeah, I honestly think the storyline stops at 2, because beyond that, it just kind of gets stupid. I actually own the Sega Genesis version, and, you read the little booklet inside, and it just gives you a backstory on these fuckers. And it's cool, and it's interesting to see. But, oh, God. The rest of this game is just, it's a real big learning curve. This is one of those things, if you're new to this series, I cannot recommend it. You will have such a learning curve that you'll just be upset all the time. You'll just be like, I am tired of losing. I mean, if you want to spend the time, if you're the Street Fighter fan, you have already spent the time. You are not going to get into it by 4. 4 is literally Ultra. Ultra is for the guys who've played their fill of Street Fighter 4 and Super Street Fighter 4, and then they're like, I need some new characters because I can. Which, honestly, to my knowledge with fighting game people, they kind of pick a character and then they get really good with that one character. That's it. I don't even see this being a good party game, honestly, too much, like, having a bunch of friends over, because it seems like, this game is not as frenetic as, say, Marvel vs. Capcom, but it is still to the point where it doesn't, you can win by spamming a button, Now, the spammer will always get beat by the guy who, learns the combos and shit, but then the guy who learns the combo, it doesn't seem like as much of a fair fight that, say, Mortal Kombat is attuned to, or, or the other game that those guys made of the, Injustice. So, it's not a bad game. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with it, except, I guess I wouldn't really want to see a story with this game. I just kind of want to see the fighting, which is that what they approve on. I will tell you what, though, if you're trying to get through arcade, don't have the fight requests on, because you will not even get to your first fight. There's a lot of people playing this game, so, if you want a good multiplayer experience, it's going to keep you going, a fighting game that's just going to stick around for the longest fucking time. This is your game, but be warned, you're going to get your ass kicked damn near every time. My biggest problem with it doesn't seem like they had a noob area. They didn't have someone for like a level 1 me. Hey, how's it going, guys? Because I don't think those people exist anymore. So yeah, it's not a game for me, and it's just for your die-hard Street Fighter 4 people. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. It's not a bad game, not a fair game, just not for me. Yeah, I'd suggest people rent it. Honestly, if you're curious about the new Street Fighter, rent it, check it out, see if it is for you. Because it might be. You might find it the character you love. You might find that, you missed Street Fighter this entire time. You might. Or you might be in my boat and you just don't like getting your ass kicked over and over. So, it's really up to you guys. Otherwise, that is it. Let me know what you guys think about this game. And this review in general. If this was helpful or not, let me know. If, what I missed, if I missed anything. Otherwise than that, all I gotta say is, good night, have a fun time.